In ancient times, and occasionally even in modern times, strange and eccentric medical practices were the standard for many. You won't believe any of them were ever thought to be therapeutic. Get ready to dive headfirst through 15 of some of the strangest medical treatments, both ancient and modern, that will leave you wondering, how did that ever become a thing? First up, Poo Cream. Yes, exactly what it sounds like. The Ebers papyrus records that animal dung was used for medicinal purposes in ancient Egypt. A variety of animal feces, from donkey to dog and gazelle, have been utilized since 1500 BC to cure wounds and ward off evil spirits. In an attempt to use crocodile dung as a kind of birth control, some women would put it in their vaginas. Next is bloodletting. The practice of emptying one's blood, known as bloodletting, gained popularity between 460 and 370 BC, according to the British Columbia Medical Journal. The technique was employed by Egyptians, Greeks, Arabs, Asians, and finally Europeans to balance what they considered to be the four main bodily fluids: blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile. It was believed that an imbalance caused illness. Among other conditions treated with blood drained from a vein or artery were headaches and fever. An article from History.com suggests that George Washington could have perhaps lost his life in 1799 as a result of bloodletting. Soon after, the practice was gradually discontinued. Third is leech therapy. According to PBS, leeches were essential to the bloodletting procedure and have been used historically to cure infections, skin conditions, dental issues, and anomalies of the neurological system. Perhaps their most amazing characteristic, however, is what has made them useful in modern medicine. Certain peptides and proteins secreted by leeches promote wound blood flow by inhibiting clotting. According to Healthline.com, leech treatment may be used to treat a wide range of conditions including heart disease, cancer, arthritis, hemorrhoids, and high blood pressure. It is difficult to trust these amazing coincidences. Fourth is drinking urine. According to the National Institutes of Health, drinking urine was a common form of therapy for a variety of illnesses in ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Not only was the bodily secretion utilized for medicinal purposes, but ancient Chinese and Indian yogic writings lauded it for its amazing powers. Its traditional uses as a teeth whitener and laundry detergent are covered by Smithsonian Magazine. Learn about these strange illnesses that you won't think are real. Fifth is trepanning. Do you ever wish you had a beautiful hole in your brain to relieve your migraine pain? Well, a lot of our historical forebears believed that treating pain and neurological disorders could be accomplished by making an incision in the skull. Despite leaving the brain exposed, the number of fatalities following surgery was significantly lower than you might expect. Trepanation has been documented from ancient times, some 7,000 years ago, especially in Greece, Africa, Polynesia, and even America. However, the practice continued unchecked until the early 1900s. Coming in at number 6, the Tapeworm Diet. One of the most disgusting diet fads ever, the Tapeworm Diet, took off in the Victorian era in the 1800s. Women who were desperate to get the ideal body would swallow a tapeworm egg pill in the hopes that the parasite would proliferate in their intestines. In the end, one may consume food until they were full, and the worm would consume the remainder, causing them to lose weight. The diet is horrifyingly still in use today, with participants obtaining worms from dubious websites or clinics. The unsafe practice is accompanied by dangerous symptoms such as fever, anemia, diarrhea, nausea, stomach discomfort, and malnourishment. Number 7. Mortal medicine. Nothing compares to sipping a martini with a human skull as a garnish while you wind down. Hold on, what? From the Romans to King Charles II of England, many cannibalistic practices were believed to be curative and restorative. Egyptian tombs were frequently plundered, with the intention of grinding the remains into corpse medicine. Professor Richard Sugg of Durham University, who has written extensively on the topic, said, "The human body has been used as a therapeutic agent widely, with flesh, bone, or blood being the most popular treatments." Number 8, and probably the weirdest in my opinion, is fart sniffing. In times of despair, desperate actions are necessary. Medical professionals turned to body odors in the 1600s when an outbreak of the Black Death was wreaking havoc in London. Residents either kept a stinking animal inside their home or puffed farts from jars because experts believed that strong gas may offset the effects of the disease, according to CBS News. It's reasonable to assume this one didn't succeed given the bubonic plague's broad damage. Number 9. Mouse paste. The ancient Egyptians used a paste made from dead mice to treat toothaches, coughs, and other illnesses. They seemed to try every imaginable remedy. And in the late 1500s, how were warts treated in England? Half a mouse was sliced and put over the affected region. Fortunately, mice are no longer used in these techniques. Number 10. Elixir of Mercury. Mercury is known to be extremely dangerous. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, it is a potent neurotoxin that can cause symptoms including muscular weakness, eyesight loss, neuropathy, decreased hearing, and lack of coordination. Before this information became widely known, the ancient Greeks, Chinese, and Persians thought that consuming mercury, or applying it topically, might lengthen one's life, or even heal illnesses like syphilis. In an attempt to achieve everlasting life, or in an assassination attempt, Qin Shi Huang, the emperor of China, drank a mercury elixir which some believe caused his death. Number 11. Tooth in the eye. There's now a therapy for corneal blindness called osteo-odonto-keratoprosthesis. After the patient's tooth is removed, a drilled hole is filled with a lens. Before being inserted into the eye, the tooth must first be sewed onto the cheek to let it grow its own blood supply. It's miraculously shown to be effective. At the Sydney Eye Hospital in Australia, oculoplastic surgeon Greg Maloney, MD, and Shannon Weber, MD, from the University of NSW, have been conducting the procedure. Number 12, and another strange one, is vaginal incense. In ancient Egypt, vaginal problems were treated with a variety of unusual methods, such as incense insertions. It's probable that onions were employed as an air freshener for the sensitive area, given that they were also utilized to detect pregnancy. If a woman's breath smelled good in the morning, it was supposed she was pregnant. Number 13. The hemiglossectomy. We may give the brutal stuttering cure of the 1840s, the hemiglossectomy, to Prussian physician J.F. Diefenbach. The inhumane treatment involved partially excising the patient's tongue, all without the use of anesthetic. The surgeon thought that by stopping vocal cord spasm, he was actually healing patients, despite the nature of the procedure. Coming in at number 14, calming syrup. In the 1800s, codeine, opium, and heroin, sometimes referred to as soothing syrup, were common ways to soothe young children. The product was openly marketed as a serum that would soothe your baby and give exhausted moms a break. Midway through the 1800s, two Bangor, Maine druggists started producing the syrup, which a relative had developed while employed as a nurse. Even when consumers learned the reality, the product continued to be sold into the 1930s. And finally, number 15, maggots, which isn't all that surprising. Maggots have been used to treat infected wounds since before the Civil War because they exclusively consume dying tissue, preserving healthy tissue. Because of its great efficacy, the therapy is still used in contemporary medicine. These little fly babies have the potential to save your life in a time when medicines aren't always effective. There you have it. 15 of the strangest medical treatments you may have never heard of. Incredible, right? Which of these treatments surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating discoveries.